I'm going to vote for this bill because on balance, I think it does a little bit of good. I went back, I was curious enough to go back and actually watch the hearing on video. And although I have some issues with it philosophically and also the way it's drafted, the most compelling arguments for it, frankly, were from advocates for the disabled, who pointed out that a lot of people with disabilities have these Section 8 vouchers, or disability vouchers, whatever the term is, and they have trouble getting housing. But I don't think we should have any illusions that this is going to be the grand project that Representative Knight suggested it might be. Mr. Speaker, I know yesterday you had a press conference about affordable housing. And I'm glad that you're going to, I think, make that a signature issue that this body will hopefully address this year. But let's not kid ourselves about affordable housing in the state. It's a serious problem. It's a serious problem for a lot of things that go well beyond this bill. Well beyond this bill. My parents moved here last year from Connecticut, not exactly a cheap place to live. They bought a house, or condominium actually, at the same rough price they sold their house in Connecticut for. It's below the median single family price in Rhode Island. My mother could not believe what she's paying in property taxes, electricity, heat. Everything's expensive here. If we want to help people, we need to bring down energy costs. That's one thing we can do. We can do that by not subsidizing projects that artificially increase energy for other reasons, such as green energy initiatives. So that's one place to start. We're not going to save the planet by building a windmill in Rhode Island, but we can help people, our own constituents, by bringing energy costs down. So that's one suggestion. Another suggestion is to talk about how hard it is to get anything built in this state. I know the Fane Tower is not affordable housing, and I don't have any personal opinion on the Fane Tower, but the fact that we're still talking about it amazes me. The Fane Tower at this point should either have been built or it should be done, it should be over. Projects, affordable housing projects, regular projects, construction, all kinds of projects in the state take forever to get permitted. They take forever. The 195 Commission was established about a decade ago, I think, Mr. Speaker. It was before your time, I know that. The 195 land is still what, half empty? Have any of you been to the Seaport in Boston? It's been booming for a decade, project after project after project. You know why? Because it costs too much to build here relative to what people can get in rents. That's a problem. And that applies to commercial projects, but it trickles down to affordable housing projects. And then finally, you've got the NIMBYism. And I'll wrap this up because I know we want to get out of here today. But you've got the NIMBY problem, too. The Affordable Housing Act was passed 30 years ago, to establish a baseline of 10% affordable housing in all 39 cities and towns. Do you know how many towns meet that right now, as of 2019? 6. One of them happens to be Burrillville, by the way, which people don't realize. But when I was elected, Burrillville was a distressed community. It's well over the threshold. 6 other towns are between 8 and 10%, including North Smithfield. 13 towns are less than 5%. Now, there's some factors that go into that. For example, mobile housing should probably be included. I don't think it is. But that's absurd. There's no enforcement mechanism. And a lot of these places they vote for the right people, for governor, for Congress, for this body, for councils. People say all the right things, but they talk the talk and they don't walk the walk. So if we're serious about taking affordable housing by the horns and doing something that could really help the people of this state, this bill today is a little minor piece of it. It's an imperfect piece. I'll support it, but I don't particularly like it. But it's not going to solve all our problems. We need to do some serious,
30 seconds, please.
We need to do some serious changes to the state if we're serious about it. And every town and every person, regardless of the political affiliation of the party, has to pitch in. Because what we're doing is not working. It's not working. Our kids are leaving. It's hard to establish jobs. It's hard to pay for anything. It's a disgrace.